Kentuckiana, 6 a.m. here on your Thursday, and we're glad you're joining us. Grace and Gabe here to kick off your end of the week.
Absolutely. And you know what? Whenever I opened my door this morning, I'll tell you what, Matt, that cold air hit me like a sack of potatoes, I'll tell you what.
Oh, we'd won that bad.
Compared to the last 2 days, though,
Fair enough.
I wasn't expecting it.
We've had quite a swing in our mornings. You know, Monday morning we had temperatures in the 30s and 20s, and then Tuesday, Wednesday morning we were in the 50s, and now we're back in the 40s. It's been all over the place this week. This unsettled pattern really giving us a run for our money here across Kentucky, and a weather impact alert will be activated as we head into tonight, and that will last into our Saturday as we're tracking an incoming system that's going to bring in some gusty winds and also some pockets of heavier downpours, plus a big temperature drop in the forecast as well. Stay up to date with all the latest weather details by downloading the free WHAS11 app. As of right now, the cloudy skies are in our skies right now. You just can't see them just yet, but we are in for an overcast day here across Kentuckiana. Right now, Jefferson County, those temperatures starting off in the 30s, a chilly beginning, along with temperatures in the lower 30s near Bedford, 37 Seymour, 35 Scottsburg, 43 there in Elizabethtown. But those south winds are going to be continuing through the day, and that's going to really boost our temperatures into the afternoon. Quiet and dry for us right now across our skies. We're staying cloudy into the afternoon time, and you'll notice those showers developing over towards our west. Here's a look at satellite and radar. Just a cloudy period for us. We're going to continue staying in this cloudy trend all throughout our morning and into the afternoon time. We're still remaining cloudy. We won't see the rain showers until tonight. Past 10 p.m. is whenever you can expect those periods of some light rainfall to arrive at first, and then the heavier rain showers will be around throughout tomorrow morning. So a wet weather pattern in the forecast. Here's a look at that bus stop forecast. Headed off to school, mostly cloudy conditions. On your way back, temperatures in the mid-60s, staying overcast. That's a look at your weather details for now. More coming up here in just a bit. Here's an update on traffic this morning. As of right now, everything's moving along fine across the Louisville Metro. If we have any holdups, we'll let you know. Grace, Gabe?
All right, Matt, thank you. Our top story this morning, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear lays out his plan for how to spend your tax dollars.
He also gave subtle hints about his political future when his term ends. WHAS11 political reporter Isaiah Kim Martinez and photojournalist Aspen Hester report from the Kentucky History Center.
Well, it was Governor Beshear's State of the Commonwealth, but it was the words American Dream that the governor mentioned more than any other, some 20, 30 times throughout his speech. And there was a little tidbit there, a little message that he gave, possibly a hint at his political future.
This is my 7th State of the Commonwealth and my last budget address in this job.
Governor Andy Beshear was not just talking to Kentuckians in his annual state address from Frankfort. He says he was speaking to the American people, too.
As leaders, we have a responsibility to reignite and refuel the American dream. For the sake of future generations, it must burn bright in the minds of our people.
Beshear, who some consider a potential 2028 presidential candidate, leaned into the national theme.
But with the challenge of tariffs, national uncertainty, and more, life's going to be a little tougher than in the past. Without action, Kentuckians are going to suffer.
The speech was also Beshear's pitch to Kentucky lawmakers. He pushed for major investments in pre-K for all 4-year-olds, housing, and a $125 million fund for rural Kentucky hospitals as they deal with federal cuts to Medicaid.
We simply cannot allow our rural hospitals to close, and we cannot accept a future where a Kentucky woman must travel several hours just to give birth.
Of all Beshear's ideas, Republican Kentucky Senator Philip Wheeler appeared most open to the rural hospital funding.
Clearly, we want to make sure that our rural hospitals have the stability and the funds necessary to continue serving their local communities.
Something the governor did not mention was his signature economic achievement, the Blue Oval SK battery plant in Glendale, choosing to end operations in December, just months after getting started. Kentucky Senate President Robert Stivers, a Republican, is not happy about that.
That's now become the biggest boondoggle of economic recruitment in the state's history.
To close his address, Beshear gave a nod to former President Abraham Lincoln, born in LaRue County.
And like Lincoln all those years ago, Kentucky can lead the way out of the darkness and into the light. It's our job. It's our duty, and we cannot leave a broken country to our children.
The governor is heavily leaning into his vision of a revived American dream, with questions about his political future ramping up by the month. In Frankfort, Isaiah Kim Martinez, WHAS 11 on your side.
Kentucky's House Speaker and Senate President released a joint statement responding to Beshear's speech, saying in part, quote, Kentucky is well positioned because of the sound, fiscally responsible policies enacted by Republican supermajorities, often overriding gubernatorial vetoes to do so, end quote.
Brand new and only here on WHAS 11, a former JCPS board member has her eyes on the Kentucky Senate in Frankfort. You may recognize her. Sarah Cole McIntosh launched her campaign today for an eastern Jefferson County seat currently held by Republican Senator Julie Rocky Adams. McIntosh is running as a Democrat and says if elected, she would prioritize bringing more state funding to public school districts like JCPS. She talked only to our political reporter, Isaiah Kim Martinez, ahead of her announcement.
When you talk about what it costs to educate, it is going to be expensive, right? There's going to be a return on investment, and if you're not investing in the students, you're not going to get the returns you're looking for.
McIntosh is a former JCPS teacher who served on the school board for 4 years. It's been 3 decades since a Democrat held this Senate seat, which includes Middletown and Anchorage. We'll have the full story coming up later in our early evening shows. A Kentucky lawmaker is now pushing a bill aimed at protecting your medical privacy and reproductive health care. Democratic Representative Lindsey Burke filed House Bill 23 on Wednesday. The bill would stop women from being investigated or punished for getting help or helping someone with legal reproductive care in and out of the state. Burke says the bill does not change abortion laws, but is meant to protect patient privacy and prevent fear from interfering with medical care. As we continue to follow the goings-on in Frankfort over the next couple of months, the best way to stay up to date is on our website, WHAS11.com, and in the free WHAS 11 app.
Senate Bill 90, a new bill proposed in the Indiana State House, is hoping to protect you from unwanted medical procedures when you're sedated. Right now, Indiana does not currently have a law that stops doctors or medical students from performing exams on you that you did not agree to before sedation. If the bill becomes law, doctors or students cannot perform rectal, pelvic, or prostate exams without giving the patient permission. Now, Republican State Senator Michael Critters, who wrote the bill, says it will protect both doctors and patients. Democratic Representative Carolyn Jackson has pitched something similar in the last 5 years and says this law is necessary.
To please pursue this. The reasons being is many people wake up and they find out that they've had these tests and they are traumatized.
20 states have laws that require patients to sign consent forms before going under. Kentucky is not one of them. The bill passed out of committee by a unanimous vote of 12-0. The Senate will now have to consider the bill.
This morning, businesses at the site of the deadly UPS plane crash are nearly ready to get back to work. City emergency officials now say all of the debris from the jet has been removed and is in Texas being investigated. Metro Emergency Services says crews worked through the holidays to clear the crash site. Tony Parrott with Louisville MSD says the agency has removed about 4.7 million gallons of oily water, including 200,000 gallons of oil. LG&E has also finished its work on the site, and now businesses nearby, like Quantum Inc., will be able to return to their buildings full-time this Wednesday.
There's still going to be some laws of the land, which are understandable, to keep things functioning properly as they open back up, but sounds like we're going back business as usual.
It's important to note the area is not quite ready for the general public. Part of Crittenden Drive to Knopp Avenue still has some environmental remediation going on, and access is limited.
Happening today, Louisville Metro Council is getting a new president. That person determines the committee structure and appoints members to chair and vice chair committees. Brett Akerson of District 26 has just finished his first term as president. The council will vote at a special meeting today at 4:30.
Matt, coming over to you, what's one thing we need to know?
We've got an unsettled weather pattern headed our direction. Beginning tonight is whenever we will activate this weather impact alert. That's because some gusty winds will be occurring through the nighttime hours. Some brief periods of some heavy rainfall and also a big temperature drop headed our direction. We're going to have all the details about that coming up here in just a bit, but also keep in mind the coldest day of the week will be Sunday. Highs only reach 33 degrees. More weather details coming up soon.